Revelers in Times Square on January 1st, 2020 expressed the usual optimism about the new year.
This is our year, this is the world's year.
It's going to be a great year.
Little did they know that where they were standing would, in just a few months, due to the coronavirus pandemic, become a ghost town.
What a difference a year makes. This December 31st, there'll be no crowds here in Times Square. As in so many other cities around the world, the pandemic is putting a damper on celebrations.
This year, the glimmering crystal ball will still count the world down into a new year, but the hundreds of thousands of people who normally line up the blocks and brave the elements will be reduced to a small group of invited guests.
3, 2, 1, Happy New Year!
Carson Daly, who's been in Times Square on New Year's Eve for NBC since 2004, is adapting.
I don't think it's going to be like, Happy New Year, it's 2 minutes away. And all the, the background obviously is going to be completely different. Usually if you see me on Times Square, I'm like, hey, where are you from? Where are you from? Oh, you drove from here. You flew from Peru, blah, blah, blah. It's so exciting here, guys.
The tradition of often shivering crowds assembling shoulder to shoulder in Times Square to ring in the new year as the ball drops dates back more than 100 years. There have been only 2 years when the ball didn't drop, 1942 and 1943. When the ceremony was suspended due to the wartime dim-out of lights in New York City. But this year, the show will go on, staged for an at-home audience, according to the president of the Times Square Alliance, which helps coordinate the event.
There will be a live broadcast event in Times Square, but there will not be a public audience. It will simply be a broadcast stage for the entire world to see.
Ring in a year that has to be better.
Broadcasters will be live without the raucous crowds below.
Celebrate with us.
You sort of have to kind of nail the tone on a night like this because this has been just a horrific year for so many because lives have been lost. Not to mention, if it wasn't lives, it was livelihoods. So, and then there's some people that, may not have been affected. So, and everything in between. So the tone, I think, is to be, optimistic and hopeful, but reflective.
The NYPD will bar the general public from congregating anywhere near Times Square.
The only people that will be there besides the performers will be about 40 people who are our invited special guests.
In years past, the on-stage production featured special guests who joined the mayor in pressing the Waterford button that triggers the ball drop. This year, first responders, frontline, and essential workers will be the ones honored, but they'll remain in socially distant seating areas with their families rather than pressing the countdown button. The audience will also include a small group of guests who've rented for the night this dome on NASDAQ's terrace overlooking Times Square. Airbnb, which debuted on NASDAQ earlier in December, says the guests who signed up for this marketing gimmick are paying $21. New York isn't alone in finding ways to adapt New Year's celebrations to the pandemic. Some cities are canceling them altogether. As Americans start the day on December 31st, Sydney will kick off the new year with a scaled-down version of its annual fireworks display. Hong Kong is doing away entirely with its fireworks display over Victoria Harbor. Officials say it's due to the pandemic. The government also canceled it last year, citing the threat posed by anti-government protesters. London, now in lockdown, has canceled all public events, including its fireworks show. And Las Vegas, which earlier launched an ad campaign to let people know it's open again, won't hold its annual pyrotechnics display on the Strip. Instead, the city is promoting a virtual event where it plans to blow up a 2020 sign live at an undisclosed location.
Here in New York City, where there have been around 20,000 deaths from COVID, the organizers of the event say they want the tone, despite the pandemic, to be celebratory and hopeful.
Staring at the ball, being a part of such a rich American iconic visual of this ball dropping, I feel like will really make people feel like, okay, it's official now. It's 2021 and a sense of relief and a sense of hope.
And in a nod to the year that was, two-time Grammy Award winner Gloria Gaynor will sing the lyrics,
Go on now, walk out that door, just turn around now. You're not welcome anymore, which I think is the way we all feel about 2020.
The message from public officials worldwide: you can help make 2021 a year to celebrate by spending New Year's at home.